Welcome to Sports Geek Throwback. Here's your host, the sports geek himself, Sean Callanan.
G'day, I'm Sean Callanan from Sports Geek, and welcome to Sports Geek Throwback, where I pick out the best bits from the Sports Geek podcast archive. For this week's Sports Geek Throwback, I go back to episode 131 with Nick Truelson, published back in November 2016 when Nick was at the Western Bulldogs. He's now CEO of Melbourne United Basketball Club. Congrats on the recent Exec of the Year award, Nick. Remember, if you need help with your digital marketing or sponsorship teams, please get in touch. Sean at sportsgeekhq.com is how you can do it. We love applying the digital to dollars process to help your team build revenue. In this throwback episode, Nick and I discuss how the AFLW changed tact for the club and how they went about engaging celebrities. Remember, you can listen to the full episode at sportsgeekhq.com/131. Enjoy.
You did talk a little bit there about the club now, even though you have been in the women's football game for a long time, but being one of the licensees for the new women's AFL, how does that change tact for the club overall, or is it just a bit more effort now put into that space?
I think we've had a mantra for the last few years about 3 teams, 1 club. So we've got a team in the AFL, we've got a men's team in the VFL, and we've also got a women's team. And I think now being able to bring that to life, it's a super exciting opportunity. Amazingly for us, we won all 3 cups this year. So we won the AFL Premiership, the VFL Premiership the week before the AFL one, and the women's exhibition game here at the Whitten Oval that we played. We won the cup for that as well. So that's pretty exciting for us to go into that. The gender equality side of things is really important, and we've got a really good partnership with White Ribbon out of our men's health program, and we're very focused on things like how do we make sure domestic violence against women stops. I think having a women's brand now as a Western Bulldogs team is going to be amazing for what we can do in the community. The amount of young girls playing the game, they're expecting 500,000 girls will be playing Aussie rules football next year across Australia. So I think that's exciting. But from a commercial point of view, it's also opened up amazingly new doors for us. We've got Priceline, enormous Australian brand on board as our co-major partner with Bob Jane T-Mart. So to get 2 brands who are really strong in the marketplace, who we're going to be able to work with is super exciting, and who are really strong on driving gender equality issues as well.
Yeah, so again, for the people who don't know, the Women's AFL League launches next year before the AFL proper kicks in. So it'll be interesting to see, one, how it runs. It's sort of running right at a time when the footy fan is starved for footy, so it's going to be really in the right spot for everyone to check it out. With eight teams in the first year. The last thing, if you do follow Nick on Twitter at Nick Truelson, you will see Nick with a lot of selfies with celebrities. Is this a big part of the Bulldogs strategy, or is it you just want to be hanging out with the Tim Cales? Did you meet Thor? I mean, if you didn't see Chris Helmsworth's picture, I think it was after the prelim final in a Western Bulldogs jumper with the guns out. I think it 500,000 likes or something on Instagram. There was a few celebrity fans of the Bulldogs jumping on board and making sure they were there for the grand final.
I think that's a bit of a change for us from our brand point of view as well. And Tim Cale is a great example, and someone who's fantastic to follow on social media as well. His engagement with the fans has been great. But when he did come to Melbourne as part of Melbourne City, Shane DeLee, who I mentioned before, is a Melbourne City ambassador as well as a Bulldogs one. And Shane rang me up and said, Tim's keen to get a team.
And for those who are listening, if anyone moves to Melbourne and people find out that you've just moved to Melbourne, the first question every Melbourne will ask is, who's your team? And it's almost like you are shamed into having a team. If you don't have a team, it's a question you're going to keep getting. So it's a real, it was a real opportunity, and lucky enough that Shane was able to connect you.
If you like this Sports Geek Throwback episode, please check out the full episode at sportsgeekhq.com. Please share Sports Geek with your sports business colleagues. We appreciate you sharing. We love working with podcast listeners. Please get in touch so we can help your team. Go to sportsgeekhq.com/phone call. All Sports Geek episodes are available at sportsgeekhq.com and all podcast platforms.